have you got the world's most silent electric eraser there, Scott? What is that?
I believe so. Yeah, this is electric rate. This is from my wife, who was a professional draftsman,
I
and
can't. I can't
she
even hear. I can't even hear the motor.
no,
Interesting.
you hear it now?
Nope.
Yeah, it's very quiet,
Yeah, that's
very
cool.
nice. I mean, I don't. I think we spent in like 1989 or 90. We probably spent $60 on it. So I mean,
Looks
it was
like
not.
the old German hand grenade or something. I mean, it is big. I mean, it's like,
Oh yeah, and it's not wireless. It's plugged right into the thing. One of
yeah,
these
yeah.
days, I'm gonna run out of eraser for it, but I am erasing because I'm not happy with this page. I worked on this page last week. I don't know if Dan's on here. I worked on this page
Uh,
last week, and I don't know. Did I tell you I got a new computer?
you did, but yeah, go ahead and talk about that.
So
Sorry.
I got a new computer because my old one was from 2009, so it's like 15 years old, and and so I was wanting a new one or something new, but I didn't want a brand new one because I was afraid the OS would box me out of some of my apps, and it didn't.
Oh yeah.
Because this one has Windows 10 on it, and it runs CS2 like I need. And anyway, so I got a 4 gig hard drive to go in it because it only had a half a gig, or I'm sorry, 4 terabyte.
Whoa.
It had a half a
I've never
terabyte.
had anything that large in a computer before.
No, I haven't either. But it was, I mean, literally the difference between that and a 3 terabyte was like $50, I think.
Yeah, that's the deal, though. I mean, tell me
No,
that something becomes unstable when it gets to a certain size, and I'd believe you.
this is a
I worry
soft.
about these really super huge ledge storage devices because it's
Well,
like,
this is
if a little bit of it goes wrong, that's a lot of waste, you know.
well, this is a solid state drive,
Oh, so,
so
okay. Well, I guess that's good. I don't know.
yeah, no moving parts.
Yeah, should work forever, huh?
Theoretically, I mean,
Yeah. Hey,
and
send me that product since you liked it. I may think about. Oh well, wait a second. You're talking about a hard drive. Okay.
yeah. Anyway, so the computer that I got was, and I may have talked about this last week, was from my wife's work, and I didn't get I didn't want to load a bunch of stuff until I got the big drive,
Mm-hmm.
because no point in that. And so the big drive came, and so all week I've been copying. It's taken me. I just got to where I felt like I was making headway on it yesterday because I've been copy. I have a 500 gig iTunes library. Sorry, I have
Wow,
a
500 gig of iTunes, huh?
well, it's book. It's all kinds of stuff,
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, and copying it over. And somebody said, well, why don't you just go someplace and have them do it? Well, I had it all on my old computer. It was all over the place, and I wanted to arrange it. And
Mm-hmm.
I had a bunch of crap on my desktop and stuff. And so part of the thing was I wanted to get everything,
Yeah.
organized.
Uh huh.
So I've been doing that all week. I have not been drawing. Sorry, Dan. That's why I asked if Dan was on the feed. Uh,
Not yet. I'm using the new dark mode, by the way. I don't know if that shows up as anything different on our show, but I'm looking at dark screens, kind of like.
I don't see anything different.
Okay, yeah, it's just the same.
Your sound is different.
My voice is probably different. I've got a little bit of a COVID issue. I've got it
Uh
for the
oh.
first time.
You got COVID for real?
Oh yeah, I can tell by researching it and looking at the symptoms. I've probably had it, and I was going to ask you, are you all right? Because I wondered if I exposed you to it because it turns out I look
Nope.
back at my notes on my log entries,
Yeah.
and this shortness of breath, which I guess is a distinctive symptom of it, dates back to the 19th of August, where I was
Oh,
waking up feeling like opening a can of cat food, I was going to have a heart attack from
Oh,
shortness of
jeez.
breath. And it's like that's what this disease was designed to do. To put people in the hospital was to knock their breath out, and then when they got them in the hospital, intubate them, and then all of a sudden they've got pneumonia, and that kills them. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm just about over it.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to ask you if you wanted to go downtown with me tomorrow, but I rescind that offer.
Oh yeah, rescind that because
Well,
I probably am no doubt infectious right now.
when did you start having symptoms?
Well, that's the deal. I would assume the major symptom that you aren't aware of as a symptom is that waking up and feeling breathless. Uh,
Maybe.
I read about it, and it's like that is the main thing that I think gets them. But
Could be.
then about after our walk, I developed the more classic sore throat.
Oh, yeah.
Probably
That's what I
probably
had. That's what I
probably
had when I had
Sunday,
COVID.
and
Oh,
then
well, yeah. I
then
mean,
it was like, oh, okay, now I've got a cold. And then as it progressed along, looking at the symptoms and noting slight differences of what might be different about this one, I said, well, I've got COVID. I,
when I had COVID, we were supposed to go walk. It was on a Friday. We were supposed to go walk, and you backed out. You texted me and you said, I don't think I'll meet you. And I said, you know what? It's just as well. I got a little bit of a sore throat.
mm-hmm.
And then kind of find out I had COVID. I still walked around, but at that point, there was nobody around downtown.
Well, that's the deal. You can function for a time, but at Monday I just crashed. I stayed in bed all day, but it's not like I could rest because the soreness and all that
Yeah.
just makes you toss and turn. You just
So I didn't have it when I had it. There were minimal symptoms, just a little tickle in my throat, and when I but when I got the vaccine, it made me achy all over, and I felt like I was going to die. I mean, the vaccine was worse for me than the COVID.
Yeah. Well, I just wonder about what's flowing over what when you do that. It's like,
Well,
have you got an accurate picture of anything? It's like, was that just part two of the COVID?
no. It was definitely not COVID.
Okay.
It was definitely because I was over it quickly. It lasted me about 24 hours,
No, that's pretty good.
and then I was yeah. It was
It's
literally
it made me crash. I had to crash,
oh yeah,
and
like clockwork. I started getting achy after about. Let me think about this. After about 6 to 8 hours after I took the last all the shots I've gotten that way, however many I've gotten. 2 or 3. I haven't got all of the vaccines, and in fact the last one I told Michelle, and it got a little bit worse every time. Last one I told Michelle, I go, I'm not getting any more vaccines.
nah.
They feel worse.
The deal that the deal that you've got the common knowledge of right now is that you can't immunize somebody from a cold. They're going to catch colds, and you can catch the same cold over and over and over from now until you die. You just get used to the idea.
Well, I hope you get feeling better.
Oh
Sounds
yeah,
like
I
maybe
feel
you
better
already
all right.
are.
Yeah, I'm feeling better already.
Do you need anything, or you're
No.
not? You're good.
Yeah. Consider me isolated.
Well, if you need anything, all you do is ask.
Okay,
I'm
thanks.
happy to help you with whatever.
I had a pint of chocolate, or not chocolate, coffee chip ice cream today.
Oh, geez, the whole pint?
The whole pint.
Oh, I guess a pint's not that much. What am I saying?
It's that big, yeah.
Yeah,
Step down. It's
a
like
step
it's
down.
probably about a triple dip of ice cream cone.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Joe Biden's standard fare on a waffle cone.
Oh, I got to show you what I got in the mail today.
What'd you get?
You see that?
Oh yeah, Midnight Madness. That's a wacky little movie.
Uh,
They went
I
all
didn't.
out being wacky.
I didn't even know this existed until you told me about it. You said, "Oh, you got to watch it. It's Michael J. Fox's first or second movie. I think his first theatrical release."
It's also noteworthy because it's got Pee Wee in it.
Yep, yep. And the library has it. I watched it from the library probably 2 or 3 times. The stinking movie's like hard to find for. I mean, I could find it, but I was like $60 online, and I was like phooey on that. And
is it just not considered politically correct or something? What is its issue
Disney,
with it?
for whatever reason, I don't know. Disney just it's not on Disney Plus. I have no idea why. Because, well, somebody said it was considered racy at the time, but it's not really. I mean,
Oh yeah. I guess they do go after the whole idea of like, hey, kids are just thinking about sex. Yeah, maybe
yeah, but
a little
not really.
a little hard for
Yeah.
Disney, maybe.
Well, at the time, probably.
Hmm.
But anyway, I saw it. I mean, I've seen it. The library has a copy, like I said, and you told me.
Hmm.
And I thought, well, I'm just gonna put it on my Amazon list, and if it ever pops up cheap, I'll get it. And it was $20. I thought, well, that's about half the price. You know, I looked at vintage stock, and they said, oh, that's a rare movie. We don't get that in very often. And so I figured if they ever got it, they was gonna rate me on it. I mean, you know, rake me over the coals. I said, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I didn't like this page. What I did last week, and so I did new thumbnails today, and so I'm redrawing the
Very
page.
good. Going to insert new visuals.
Well, there was too much handing stuff back and forth, and so I pulled out the cheat sheet of John Romita's Spider-Man, and I just flipped through it. I didn't really swipe anything, but the way he does storytelling is just so good.
Yeah.
And it's not anything extreme, and it's
No, you always know when somebody is working right. You're saying, well, this is simple.
Yeah,
it's like Kubrick or George Miller keeping things right in the middle of the screen. It's like, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, I did watch Furiosa, by the way, not long ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought it was decent. I was going to ask you. You've seen it, right?
Oh yeah. I guess I went to the theater to see it. Yeah, I sure did.
I think you did.
Yeah.
Did you think that there was more CGI? There was CGI. I know he does
Oh, yeah.
practical stuff, but it seemed like, man, there was a lot of stuff that I'm like,
They just did a much better job of hiding how much CGI they had in the other one. The whole first one, you know, looked like, man, this looks all like practical effects, but there's not. They just sweetening it every inch of the way in that thing, but they just spent more money on making it look like it was all real.
Oh, okay. Well, I wondered.
Well, that's my opinion.
There was stuff I saw, and I was like, this cannot be real. I mean, this got to be a effect. I mean, a CGI.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Computer enhanced. Yeah. It's but the characters and the gradual build up of developing her backstory and all that. You know, that the kid was in it more than the young actress from Queen's Gambit.
Yeah,
I mean, she was in that movie a lot, and no, but I liked it. It surprised me a couple times. It thrilled me to be back in George Miller's hands. Basically, he's been a kick through all the Mad Maxes.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I was. It's funny. They start off, and I'm resistant when they start, but boy, when they get going, it's like, okay, this is what I'm in for. You know?
Yeah.
It took
Well,
me a
I like
while.
the arc on Hemsworth's character. He's his own worst enemy,
Yeah.
and that is a
Oh, my
beautiful
gosh.
kind of a thing to kind of witness, is his own downfall due to his own pride and stuff about how big a deal he is, you know.
Yep.
But at the same time, it makes you ponder how someone like that would exist in that sort of situation. You'd have to have somebody that thought they were flawless, infallible, and needed to be bowed to, and he would be the guy that ran things, you know.
Yep.
And so there, she's got her revenge motivation for sure.
Yeah.
Can't kill somebody's mother like that, and
Nope.
not expect them to be after you.
Nope.
Not if you're Furiosa.
Yeah, exactly. But
Oh, I'm sorry.
Anyway.
Spoiler alert.
oh yeah, well, yeah,
It's been on out for a while.
it's been out for a while. I mean, it's been on HBO for a while, even, or Max or whatever. I watched. Oh God, what was it? The I'm trying to think of the name of it. The David. You don't have Max, do you?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. So, David Chase, the creator of The Sopranos.
Oh yeah, I've been watching lots of Sopranos clips.
Dude, you're in my wheelhouse now, man.
Yeah, I bet YouTube's been feeding them to me, and I've been watching them, and so they just feed me more. I've been watching things like, Christopher getting shot and shooting, and he manages to pop that one guy that in the head that was shooting at him, and boy, that's over, game over.
Yeah.
And then the other guy runs down the road, not even looking as he's shooting behind him.
Yeah.
Great scenes, you know.
Oh, I love The Sopranos. I've watched it twice, and I was working on a third watch through, but when you watch it on Max, it tells you what you've watched, and I lost track of where I was at. So I need to make a new account that's just for me watching The Sopranos.
I may get that from the library, so that I can. Pardon me, had to cough.
David Chase said that HBO had in the contract. I don't know if it was the actors or the crew would get a raise if it went 7 seasons. Probably the actors. And so it went to 5 seasons, and they announced 6, and they said it'll be 6A and 6B, and that's our last season. And he was like, "Man,
what a rip!
What a rip!" But anyway,
yeah, they've been showing me lots of clips, and also they've been showing me gangster stuff. I think I want to see True Romance again, because that.
I watched that the other day.
Oh, you did? Well, that's got old Tony in it.
Oh yeah, it does. He's one of the.
He's the guy that gets brained with a toilet lid.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that. So
yeah, big old piece of porcelain. Pow.
We were walking. Yeah, that'd do you in, man, for sure.
Yeah.
We were walking around one day, and you mentioned True Romance, and I said I'd never seen it. You've never, in typical Ellis fashion. You've never seen True Romance.
You should hear Tarantino go on about his Sicilian monologue scene. He said he's never been prouder in his life watching these accomplished actors of, Dennis Hopper and Christopher Walken, just going line by line of something he wrote. So I guess he'll never get higher than that, watching that.
Yeah, gotcha. Anyway, after you had told me that, I saw it for $2 at a movie place. I was like, oh, I got to get this. And I finally watched it. I've had it for a long time. Watched it. In fact, I talked about it on the last podcast.
How are your podcasts going? I saw something. You had a very interesting subject matter the other day. Something, I guess you had a CB Cebulski told you to do something or other, and
wait, are you talking about my YouTube channel?
Yeah, your YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah, well, I did. I talked about, in fact, I got them right here. I talked about these pages because I took these pages to Marvel and showed them to CB Cebulski on my tour of Marvel, and then he had change, and I went over the changes that he suggested.
Oh, that's cool. Well, see,
And
that's
then
cool. I mean, that's valuable content.
I think so, but it ain't got very many views.
Oh, it hadn't.
No, I don't know
No,
why,
nobody
but
knows who CB Sapolsky is, probably.
maybe. Well, I had his name in it, and then I changed the name of it or the thumbnail to be how to draw comics the Marvel way thumbnail with storytelling, and I don't know, that helped a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I
if Dan is on, he should say something because I want to talk to him. But
okay, Dan has not shown his face as far as I can see, unless I've got
okay.
something turned off.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't see him
Yeah,
unless
no, he should show up if he shows up.
Well, I think he's busy right now. But I changed some of this. some of this is I don't know. So I'm looking through this Spider-Man, and I'm like stealing camera angles and stuff, which I think is what you're supposed to do.
Well, yeah, you're not supposed to. I recently and have got the stamp of approval from Mike Hoffman. He likes my newest pinup. He says it's got a lot of charm, and so that's groovy. I'll put that up. In fact, I'll share the screen.
Oh, that's funny that you mentioned Hoffman. I got a story.
Okay.
So my new computer, I've been copying stuff to it. 4 terabyte drive. So one thing I'm doing is every USB flash drive that I have is going in there, and I'm looking at the content, and if it's good, I'm dropping it on that computer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I found this flash drive that I think I gave it to you, and you loaded up with all kinds of stuff, including a ton of Matt Hoffman, Mike, whatever his name is, Mike Hoffman stuff. Matt Hoffman's the BMX guy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, it's one of the things that. So what's happened is I'm like going through all this stuff. It's like, good grief! I didn't realize you gave me. One of the folders you gave me is labeled paperbacks, and it's paperback book. It's just like a million. I think there's like 200 files of paperback book covers.
Yeah, from that period of Richard Power and those guys back then.
Yeah.
And those that's the period that, like I say, my art gallery, and this is John Crick-Falusi too. I've heard him even say it that was his art gallery. You walked up to the paperback rack, and that was it, man.
Yep.
That's all you needed to learn about art, and you see, and then have your mind melt. Basically, when you see that first Frazetta, you go, "What the?"
Yeah, who's this guy?
Yeah. What is this?
It's like, oh my gosh. Anyway, that's been cool. It reminded me of either the old days of going and looking at people's blog, which I don't do that much anymore, and or like the old days of like when the internet was just cool and not this depressing thing that.
Well, there's my Tigress is up on screen. I'm sharing that.
Oh, nice.
Let's see if I can get in. Look at that. Look, I'll get close. Kind of booby. That's all right though.
That's what he likes.
It's funny. The face on it, without really trying to channel anybody, it comes out looking just like I rave all the time about Creature from the Haunted Sea. There's an actress in that I just love named Moorland, and I think Corman actually was going out with her for a while. But she's got one of these attitudes. You could tell that she's just one of those like Shirley MacLaine types that could hang out with the guys and be in charge of the guys if she really felt like it.
Oh, yeah.
She's just one of them that ready to improv whatever life threw at her. And so I figured she'd make a good tigress. I guess deep down in my subconscious is what I figured. have to figure out how to close it. There we go.
Good luck. That's the other thing. I got 2 monitors now.
Oh, Jiminy, you're. It's going to look like 2001: A Space Odyssey over at your house before long.
Oh yeah. Well, right now I've got 3 lined up because I have my old computer and the 2 new ones, and I'm hoping that when I get the old computer completely transferred and I'm happy with it, and I'm like, okay, it can go in the closet, that I can actually run 3 monitors on that new computer. That'd be
Well, that's the deal. Do you have the graphics card to push all this?
yes. The graphics card has 3 slots in it.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's got 3 slots, but can it push
Well,
as
no.
hard as it needs to push?
Well, I'm okay with 2 if not,
Yeah, yeah.
Well, heck, I was okay with 1, but 2's nice for doing stuff, and certainly for live streaming.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Getting your tools like that. I mean, tools, man. For what we're up to here in this modern age, it's like get the right tool.
Yeah.
He says as he shoots his artwork through a potato. As they
A guy at work is always talking about that. About when we do art, it's like well, this is potato quality, but I'm gonna send it to him.
yeah. And that's the deal. That's as the artist, you've got to be aware that you can't have any dog and pony early drafts of anything because your client or whatever doesn't have. He's not the guy with the imagination. You have to show it to him, kind of like every now and then you got to step off and say, I got to take the hours it's going to take to bring this up to a finish. Otherwise, this guy won't get it. Speaking of that kind of thing, it looks like you bugged out for a second there, Scott. You must have got a phone call again. I bet you $1.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, did you get a phone call?
I did.
Yeah, you're back. You're back.
It was my beloved mother.
Aha. I knew you got a phone call.
Yeah. I gotta get this thing sorted out now.
At least you've got a quality. What? There you go again.
Oh, hang on, Ellis.
Okay. I can hear you. You can just make it an audio presentation.
No, that doesn't do any good on art. We try that on the podcast where we talk about art books, and I'm always like, this isn't going to be that interesting.
No, yeah, you got to open up pages and stuff like that.
Hey, there we go. That looks good. That's a good.
Yeah.
It's a good layout. Anyway. Okay, I'm back.
Okay. You sound like you've got COVID. No, I'm kidding.
It's been a crazy day at work. We're super busy, and I've been dealing with. We do an order for Indy 500 every year.
Oh man.
And yeah, it's a big deal. It
sounds like a big deal. You make rings or what?
No, we make they're called badges, but it's not a police badge. It's like if you want to go to the Indy 500 and you want to go in the pits, you got to buy one of these badges, and they're made of bronze, and there's a bronze colored one, a silver colored one,
and they're specifically thinking about people want that for a keepsake.
Oh yeah, they go for a little bit of money online if you sell them. You're not supposed to sell them, and they're numbered so they can track them. But
cool.
Anyway, it's an order. I mean, it's like 30,000 pieces.
Whew, 30,000 times 20 a piece. That's a lot of money.
We sell them
not that
for,
much.
I don't know, maybe. I think they're like $12 a piece, maybe.
Well, 30
I'm
times
guessing.
10 is $300,000. It's a $500,000 order.
Yep. So.
Anyway,
So I have
a lot of money.
I have been talking to the Indianapolis 500 and their artist, who's like, she sent me an email yesterday and said, I love working with you. Why have we not worked together on this project before? You know.
That's
And
cool.
I'm like, yeah, it was kind of nice. It made me feel good because it's like, oh, because you think about somebody working for Indianapolis 500, you think, oh, well, she has some kind of chops, or some kind of
Mm-hmm.
pedigree, so to speak.
Yeah.
So it was kind of nice.
She's with the
Well, I mean, that's
top.
that's a serious kind of position.
I tell you what, it can
I mean, it's not
be
like
just
Top
a shock.
Gun, but
Yeah, well, I was around Top Gun a little bit too, and that's a little bit of shock to the system too. But being around all that alpha male, and you realize, man, you want that alpha male. I I almost had a panic attack when I sat down in the F-14 simulator. It's like I just couldn't imagine punching one of those off the deck. It's like, good Lord, these guys are something. And but the worst I ever felt in terms of like feeling I'm just a bug was I was running into the Lakers head coach with his little entourage of two other people that were dressed just as well as he was, and it
yeah,
was just like in a parking garage, and it's like all of a sudden the door opens and there they are just dressed like their casual is, and it's like, my God, the leather jacket they had on, I couldn't have bought it if I'd saved up for a year probably. And it's like you just
yeah.
realize, these people just feel like treating themselves to the max. Hey, look who showed up. Hey guys, what's up? What have
Oh, is
I
it Dan?
missed?
Oh,
Dan.
it's Dan.
Yeah.
Dan, I am changing. Okay, so Dan, I'll tell Dan what he's missed. Dan, I have not. This is the same page I was drawing last week. I got a new computer and I've been messing with that all week, and I wasn't happy. One thing I've noticed, maybe Ellis can attest to this. When you're not quite happy with a page, it's hard to convince yourself to work on it.
Yeah. No,
And
your enthusiasm drains out of you. Yeah.
it wasn't you. It wasn't anything in the script. It was just I wasn't happy with the thumbnails I did, and so today I took my Essential Spider-Man #4 by John Romita library copy, my copy, but a discarded library copy. Um, and I read it. I've been reading all week, and I got inspired on my layouts, and so I'm doing some different layouts, doing a different little bit of perspective thing. But I am combining panels 3 and 4 because he's looking at photos, and I found a great montage in there in one of the issues of Spider-Man where he just lays out the pictures, and so rather than having a panel with a picture and a panel with a picture, I'm gonna lay out a couple pictures on the table. I'm gonna draw some stuff in them, and that's gonna take care of both panels.
Very
And
cool.
I think I think it'll look better because it won't be as tedious because it won't be two panels of somebody looking at pictures.
Dan says, no worries. I am behind because of the library show I did last Saturday.
I saw the some of the
Plus, I
pictures
got
live.
plus I got asked to do a prose story for a buddy of mine.
Oh yeah, well I don't appreciate you working for other people, but I'll allow it.
And he says, sounds good. Yeah, it's yeah, hard life of a writer.
Yeah,
Gotta dig in, work for everybody.
yep. You gotta strike while the iron's hot, or whatever the heck the
Yeah.
saying is. Anyway,
Did you ever read that Red Ibis story I sent you?
I don't think I did.
Okay, that's all right. I just want to. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to ask you that's in the wind that I said I wanted to hear your reaction to. What'd you think of that vampire movie? If you've watched that yet,
Oh, I
Van
did
Vamp
watch.
Vampire.
Vampire. I watched. I took it home and watched it immediately. I thought it was okay.
Well, it's like it's what do you call that when it's just day to day mundane? It's
Yeah.
mundane depiction of the supernatural.
Yes, I would agree with
But at
that.
the same time, it's kind of like, ooh, this is kind of like eerie. You know.
So, I'll say this since Dan's on the thing. Recently, I went to Vintage Stock, and I bought the complete Werewolf, the Universal's complete Werewolf Legacy.
He was
Yes,
seeing others before you
yes,
guys got
I
together.
knew that, and vice versa. I mean, I've done plenty of other stuff with people. Uh, the complete Werewolf Legacy, and it has the Werewolf, of course, which I did not own. It has House of Dracula for some reason, the House of Frankenstein for some reason, the She-Wolf of London, the Werewolf of London, which sounds I'm sorry, the She-Werewolf or the She-Wolf. So anyway, but what I bought it for, because Dan had said this was one of his favorite movies, Frankenstein meets the Wolfman.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I've never seen that. Well, I think I may have seen it when I was a kid, but anyway, so I'm looking forward to that.
Wolfman, that collection, Dan says, nice. That collection is awesome.
Yes.
Wolfman is in both houses of movies, yeah.
Oh, okay. So I have a weird assortment of Universal movies. I bought a 4-pack of Universal monsters that has Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein. I wanted Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Dracula, and the Creature from the Black Lagoon. Well, there's a complete Universal floating around, which hadn't wanted to spend $60 on, even though I probably should have. I bought that in Asbury. I bought on vacation. I bought that one Universal's Monsters thing that has the black cat, which I haven't watched that yet. And then the other day I bought because I always lamented that I didn't have the Wolfman, because I like the Wolfman.
Mm-hmm.
Or I like the story and all that. I think the Wolfman may be one of my favorite of the Universal monsters.
It was Gilbert Gottfried's because it had Lon Chaney Jr. in it. He loved him some Lon Chaney Jr. It's kind of weird, somebody that loved movies as much as he was so sarcastic, but he just loved him some Lon Chaney Jr. Frankenstein meets the Wolfman, the true beginning of cinematic universes.
Yep.
Bride of Frankenstein is the superior film. It's got more going on with certainly with Karloff's little monster character for sure.
However, I'll say this: my little 4-pack I have has the Spanish version of Dracula on it, which is very good. Yeah.
Because it's a director saying, let's change this shot up just a little bit. This stuff looks so beautiful. Let's get a little more out of it.
Yep, shot it at the same time. But yeah, I didn't realize our friend Kent Cordray, Kent, you remember,
Mm-hmm.
who I'm talking about. He was telling me about, if you ever get a chance to see it, watch, the Spanish version of Dracula. And I go, I said, I wonder if it's in that, because it's got some odd stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's on the back, actually, the Dracula disc, which I hate the flip disc, but I'm okay with it in this time.
Yeah, I'll be interested in your reaction to Black Cat, because Black Cat is a sweet little short, efficient movie, and it's a simple little tale of revenge.
Well, I gotta watch. I finished New Frontier, and I gotta watch that movie. That's the other thing I bought the New Frontier movie, and I want to watch it. The Darwin Cook. You know what I'm talking about, the Darwin Cook thing.
Yeah, the New Frontier. Yeah, beautiful stuff. I read the first one. That story is really moving. Where the Easy Company kind of guys fight to the death against the T-Rex. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that. I like rereading that. I may take that. We're going to New Orleans in December, and I may take that and read it again. I don't know. I decided.
I need to read all of it. All I've done is, like I say, I read that first one, but I've got them all. I've got that 8 things. What I watched last night, finished up, was there's a BBC version of Day of the Triffids that they did.
Oh,
as a
really?
TV show that 6 26-minute segments, which is, that doesn't take too much of your time. It's a 3-hour movie, not quite a 3-hour movie.
Yeah, it's not bad, especially
Yeah.
if you're retired.
Yeah.
For me,
Well, yeah, I was going to bed watching it, and it's like, oh, wow, they did a pretty good job. I think if I remember the read of Triffids, had most of it in it.
oh yeah, I've got that book around here somewhere, which I don't know. I can say that every. Oh right, I can see the book right there on my shelf. Yeah, I read.
He blows Todd Browning's version out of the water. That's
The
interesting. That
Dracula,
version.
yeah.
In a perfect world, the director of Spanish Dracula would have directed Lugosi. Speaking
Yeah.
of superior, that is Cook's New Frontier. That is Cook's New Frontier. Yeah,
Oh,
you're right.
yeah.
That is. You don't get much better than what that guy's up to anytime he's working.
I think I
tell ya.
like that better than Parker. Maybe I don't. It's hard to say.
Yeah, Parker. If you like the writing of the
I like the
Parker
writing.
character.
I do like the writing. I like Westlake. Westlake's a
Mhm.
great writer. Was
Yeah, oh,
a
yeah.
great writer, but well, Parker's different because to me, Parker is almost more like a graphic kind of thing. Parker should
Mhm.
have the Parker book should have a huge audience.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was a comic book, a so-called comic book, that I think you could take and give to a fan of the books of Westlake's and say, check this out, and I think they'd like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit different of a beast, and I like the monochromatic that he did on it.
Oh,
I've been-
that has been hugely inspiring to me. Everything I did for our friend Jeff
oh
Probine,
yeah.
everything I did was inspired with the idea of just a single flat. Make your choice. What is your midtone, and then black and white. And that's
Yep.
all based on that Darwin Cook
That-
book of Parker.
It makes me want to walk around and carry just a one color marker in my bag all the time.
Exactly. Say let's keep this simple.
Yeah,
Put-
here's what we're
put-
doing.
Put this tone down and that.
Yeah, I got my microns, I got a couple Sharpies, and I got a blue or whatever.
Speaking of superior, yeah. I've been watching Zorro on Grit. They began running episodes. Now, which Zorro are we talking about? Well, the old.
Yeah, that's a.
It inspired me to buy the complete. Oh, that Alex Toth Zorro. There's a guy on Instagram that posts little examples where he circles everything. You talk about your layout king, Toth, when he's laying out those Zorro pages. My God, the thinking that's going on to make that stuff perfect. It reprints. It reprints all the Dell comics that Toth worked on. I'm waiting for it to be delivered. Well, that's something to wait on.
I
bid high on it, but I think it's worth it.
I picked up. So I have this.
Zorro, you got something.
Yeah, and I looked online, and I think this goes for a little bit of money, but I got this cheap in the '90s. I don't even know what I paid for it.
Guy Williams.
Yeah. But
Look at that. Man, that's great, man.
Yeah.
You got everything you need right there.
Oh yeah, and you know what? It's got one color.
Does it really? Look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. That's the only way to have that. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's beautiful.
I don't know where this was printed from originally.
Oh my gosh. Look it up. What does it say?
Let's see if it says. Well, it doesn't say. I guess that's Toth on the interior.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Toth.
Just a glance, I can tell you that's
Alex Toth.
it's the Milt
Oh
Kniff.
yeah.
Genius of Alex Toth.
Yeah,
However you
but-
pronounce it.
Yeah. I picked up Zorro's Fighting Legion recently, which is a serial that came out in the 30s. And I got it because Steranko says he saw it as a kid and it really inspired him. So it made me want to pick it up.
Yeah. Some of these things, though, you listen to somebody like Ray Bradbury talk about something that, just killed him when he was a kid, and you look at it yourself and you go, And what's funny is
what did
wasn't that
you see
good?
in
What did he
this?
see in that? Yeah. It's funny though to hear somebody that has professed extreme love for something like that have to do the commentary for something like John Carpenter just loves Rio Lobo, and I listened to his commentary on it.
Yeah.
It's like you could tell that he was still a modern audience, and he was starting to get a little tired of the movie. And it's like, oh, that's pretty sad, isn't it? The guy can't sit still for his own great love in film. The book I got has all the stories. I figured factoring in the cost of the book you have, volume 2, and shipping, I still came out ahead. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah, you're jinxing that, saying it out loud. You're going to bid on something else. Cool. Share it next week. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to do a movie commentary. I mean, obviously they're not asking me, but I think it would be like,
I should come prepared for those. I mean, they should be as scripted as much as the movie,
Probably, yeah. Well, okay, so like some of like the Universal movies, they will have like historians, and those are always good. All the Universal stuff that has a commentary by the Wolfman. I know the Wolfman because I've listened to it on Listen to a Movie. The track, I mean, it is scripted. It might as well be like Criterion notes or something.
Yeah. Just insert somebody's notes as you come to the points in the movie.
But yeah, I've listened to some stuff with like stars where they're just like, you could tell they're not really, involved or they're not thinking about it in a highbrow fashion, I guess I should say, or something. I don't know.
Or you got Arnold watching Conan saying lines like, look at that.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I'm not getting much out of this, Arnold.
Yeah.
My next goal to see about tracking down some Dan Spiegel Maverick comics. Oh yeah, that'd be nice. Those old masterfully done comics.
Yeah.
What are those, Gold Key or what are the two companies
Maverick?
I associate together? Gold Key and
Whitman. Valiant?
Maybe Whitman, but Dell.
Dell.
Sadly, David J. Scall, the historian who did so many commentaries for the Universal films, died on New Year's Day. I can't talk tonight. I don't do enough of it.
That's probably the guy I'm thinking of.
You had yeah. I like the commentary where they are like, see that guy? Man, he was drunk the whole time on the set. Yeah, the little behind the scenes stories. What was I going to ask you to weigh in on? I forgot now. No, I don't want to do that. I hate that myself. People drinking and fluid sounds.
I just drank coffee. Did you not hear it? Did I?
No, I don't hear. I don't hear it. Now,
okay.
Rush was a lot of. I really hated that about him. He would pick up on. He would get that feedback, and then he would just lay into people with it. That's what all the paper rustling was about. It's like people would tell him it annoyed them, and of course, then that just said, "Oh, you're going to get some paper rustling now."
Yeah, no doubt. Yep, that was Rush. I still miss Rush. Everybody acts well. No, I miss Rush.
Yeah,
I miss a lot of stuff though.
I miss the whole concept that they were trying to destroy Limbaugh back then when he was about the only voice out there, and they were acting like he was the disinformation, you know.
Yeah, I remember the guy that owned the comic shop had a not a bumper sticker, but a front tag on the comic shop's van that said "Flush Rush."
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, oh, come on, man.
Yeah, these commentaries, the commentaries that are solid gold, are really worth it. The commentary for the Shane Black movie with Val Kilmer and Robert Downey Jr. That movie, what's that called? It's not Nice Guys, which is also really good. It surprised me. I thought Russell Crowe is not a curmudgeon, even if he comes across that in the occasional, thing where he punches a, a paparazzi or something like that. That's not a mean guy because everybody digs.
No, they deserve to
Yeah.
get punched generally.
Or throw a phone at him or something like that. But he's a guy that everybody that works with the guy, he's one of those guys that says, let's get on the team, and you just enjoy being on the team with what he contributes to it. He apparently Master and Commander, which is just a great movie. He's responsible for about 90% of that vibe because he had them, basically workshopping with each other as a unit, long before that, and having a good time as people that knew each other before it got off the ground. Nice.
So,
Hey, go ahead.
so have you and/or Dan have ever listened to the website Listen to a Movie?
Oh yeah, yeah. Listen to a movie. Yeah, those are great little MP3s. Yep.
Okay, I didn't know if Dan was familiar with that. It's a website that has the audio track. Well, I don't know if you were familiar with it. Audio tracks of movies.
Well, I think
that
I
you could-
introduced you to it. It's like that scene. I think I
you?
did.
Maybe you did.
I think I might have. It doesn't matter if I did.
Well, matters to me because I like
Yeah.
I like the website.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. As a matter of fact, I'm not even sure where I've got my bookmark for it.
Well, I mean, it's listentoamovie.com. So,
Listen to movie.com, yeah. I should be able to find it.
Yep.
I just drew this bat-winged creature, and there's these great lost films where it's probably Tarzan and his mate, but there's a scene where they go through this swampy area, and this scene with these bat-winged creatures that came down and would pick natives and other people up and had an audience reaction that was so horrified that they cut it all out of the movie. And of course, then that becomes the great lost footage thing. You say to yourself,
Yeah.
"Oh man, I'd like to see that. If that was that intense, I want to see that." But
Yeah.
nope, it is truly lost. You cannot see it. I'd like to see something that had kids crying out loud and saying, "No, no, no, don't show me that." That's what I want to see.
Yeah, no doubt.
Uh, Speaking of that, YouTube showed me a scene that apparently, well, obviously was filmed. It was deleted from Star Wars from being too intense. There was people that was having anxiety attacks. You know that
Star
scene?
Wars?
No, it's not. Did I say Star Wars? I probably did. Jaws.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
I was like, Star Wars? What?
Yeah. Star Wars didn't get that intense. Jaws had this scene. You remember the scene where that busybody guy comes up to the other boat with the kids that are just been given permission to get out, not too far in their little boat, and then the big shark comes up and knocks him out of his little paddle boat, and that's that great shot where his leg goes to the bottom of the ocean.
Oh, yeah.
Trailing blood. Well, That's not how it was totally storyboarded. What they did was that poor guy in the shark's mouth is still in the guy's mouth, and he comes along, and he's just the big space keeper in the jaws of the shark, and he's actually holding the kid a little bit, and he is pushing that kid along in front of the shark, forming a big wake with the kid. And it's like, whoa, it looked okay, but it didn't look all that intense. But it just was like, oh, that's kind of sick, is what you feel about it. It's like,
Yeah.
ooh, this kid is watching this guy die
Oh yeah.
right next to his head.
Nice. I mean, yuck. I mean,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I would love to see the lost spider scene from the 33 King Kong. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That is where you find out what happened to sailors who got knocked off the giant log by Kong. Yeah, I know. Peter Jackson's take on it, where he did it as the extra on the Kong DVD that he did. Yeah, it's pretty unsatisfying. But he got the character designs right of the creatures you're likely to encounter. The best place to get that little thrill is to watch the Black Scorpion, of course. You know this, Dan. That the Black Scorpion has a lot of that stop motion guy's models he used in the pit, and so you get to see how it might have been, of the little nightmares that came after the little kid in Black Scorpion.
I'm unfamiliar with the Black Scorpion.
Oh, you've never seen the Black Scorpion? Well, that's
No.
Willis O'Brien animation, and I don't believe Harryhausen had anything to do with it. Harryhausen started picking up and helping Willis on the which one did he? Mighty Joe Young.
Oh, I watched that not long ago. That's a good movie. I'd never seen it.
Oh yeah, it's got a lot of empathy and
Yeah,
a lot of
Joe,
fun.
Joe, save the kids, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I picked up. I picked up the Mysterious Island
Oh
the
yeah.
other day. I haven't watched it yet. I need to watch it. I got along with the million other things I got. I've been doing good though. I've watched everything I've checked out from the library. I watched recently, which is very good for me, because normally they sit there and it's like, oh, I haven't watched it. It's time to go back.
Oh, they've got apparently. He's talking about other things you can't find because it's lost. Test footage of Lugosi speaking in Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman.
Speaking of
Yes.
Frankenstein meets the Wolfman,
And test footage of Lugosi as the Frankenstein monster. Love Black Scorpion. Yes, you know what? Yeah, that one has my dream girl, the lovely Mara Corday. Yeah, she's also in a couple other good flicks. The one I like is Kronos, as far as just science fiction. That one was all Willis. Harryhausen had moved on to his own productions by that time. Yeah, as a matter of fact, but Mara Corday, no special effect could touch what she brought to the screen. No, she was fun to look at. She was, she had those eyes that, really active, that brought you into stuff.
those eyes that could see.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know what time it is. I realize my clock has stopped.
Well, we've been at it 58 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, she was in Tarantula. I was gonna venture that she was probably in the Giant Claw. That makes her in the Giant Claw and Kronos with that guy that was her co-star. What's his name? I don't know, but the Giant Claw. If you get started on that movie, it's hard not to stop. It's just so funny.
Hard not to stop or hard to stop?
It's hard to stop because it is so
Okay.
funny. It's easy
Because
to watch.
I own that movie. I bought a science fiction, I don't know, a multi-pack, and it was one of the movies on there. And I was looking the other day at that, and I go, holy crap, the Giant Claw's on here.
Jeff Jeff Morrow. That's right. Jeff Morrow was in Giant Claw. That's right. I think he was in Kronos. Yeah. Oh, well, maybe she's not though. Let me look up Kronos real quick. Yeah, we're at the out point, Scott. If you want to hang it up, let me see. Let me just look this up real quick. Morrow.
Look that up.
Okay. No, it looks like somebody named Barbara Lawrence. Nah. Well, so you can't. Don't trust me. No commentary from me. And John Agar is in Tarantula. Yep. And Giant Claw is really good up until you see the monster bird. Well, that's the best part.
Yep.
Then the film goes to heck in a handbag. Well, I don't know. All right, Scott, we are at an hour. You ready to leave it?
Yep. Let's leave it.
I'm
Dan,
glad
thank
Dan
you
showed
for-
up.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, no doubt. Dan, I apologize. I think I told you I worked on my computer all this week. I got the new computer up and running. I hope to have pages scanned in pretty soon. I'm hoping to get this page done now that I'm so much happier with these layouts. God, I don't know. They just seemed uninspired.
Yeah. It'll make it a lot easier to draw.
And I've been reading this Romita stuff, and it's just like, oh my gosh, this is what I needed. Was just a little bit of, how do you do this in a better way? Yeah.
Well,
thank
Dan
you,
said
Dan.
he's running. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Dan. It's good to talk to you.
The
Lucky
cookie
can we-
company called me early this week. I don't know
Yeah.
about her person.
Well, he's got
Okay.
he's got a second job.
Another gig?
Season. Yeah, it's seasonal or something like that, and he works for them to make a little bit of extra dough. No pun, since it's a cookie company.
Well, that's the earliest they ever called me in. Huh. Okay.
Oh, really? Oh, I think they're geared up for Christmas. So
You two guys. So Dan said goodbye, so we can say goodbye.
okay.
Bye bye, everybody.
See you. Thanks for listening or watching.